You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They left me on ice. For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. Well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out?
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else. Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe so. Soon, I hope. I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We were totally ambushed. They were waiting for us.
You can imagine that I find that very hard to believe, given that all the intelligence leading up to this indicated we'd taken them by surprise. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's... That's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I don't think so.
It's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have. The project has been classified from the beginning. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir,
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
I hate to send you into harm's way, but in this case, there's no other way around it.
The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
I couldn't be more pleased with Father's choice for a new director. Congratulations.
Have you seen J522 around? He didn't show up for duty today.
Nothing to report, ma'am.
Did you check robotics?
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Being the director of the Institute is a serious commitment.
Allie.
Busy
hope you
day for you,
understand
isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going?
Consider it done.
I'll consider it done when I've got it in my hands. I'm going with you.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
I apologize for any disruptions that my work might cause you.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Matures here. Guess we'll have to go through them.
Kill him! Heads up, it went dark. Take them all out.
Yoma. Elder Maxon.
For honor and glory. Victory!
Make him.
No sign of the agitator. We'll have to search the rest of the building.
Won't be able to hack this.
If I was a pre-war tech conglomerate, where would I keep all my best toys?
Dr. Fillmore.
If I was a pre-war tech conglomerate, where would I keep all my best toys? This wasn't really what I planned on doing today. Going down.
Almost! Shoot to kill! Damn it! I'm not gonna make it.
Elevator ought to have power again.
No way I could pick this. Locked tight.
Going down.
Target located.
For the Brotherhood!
There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time. Guess they weren't so good at mitigating radiation back in those days. Levels are almost off the charts. I'll monitor things.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
They were looking for agitated. reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated. Please wait. Contamination complete. buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
It would appear my target has disappeared.
Leave no mutant alive!
From what I hear, that rogue scent at Libertalia was a real menace.
Child synth prototype may truly be the key to our future.
Dr. Fillmore?
I think that was enough excitement for, well, ever. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
No more than I expect from a man of my age. Okay. You're sticking with the regiment? Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
And you've been getting extra rest.
Are there many more of these questions?
I see. Any additional pain or tenderness?
Not that I've noticed, no. I feel quite well.
Interesting.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I think that will be all for now.
But I haven't quite finished.
I believe we're done now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
The job is done. That's what matters.
For the moment, yes. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced tech. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly, I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and look at me. Rambling, I'm wasting time. You're needed.
Whatever it is, I can take care of it.
I certainly hope so. This situation, I'm afraid, is something of your...
What do you mean by that? What's happened?
Well, while you were assisting Dr. Fillmore, a second team was sent out to... Apparently, there was some miscommunication. And my understanding is that no shots have been fired. I need you to go there and speak to Dr. Thompson is on site. I know you can resolve this situation. But it is of paramount importance that this...
Why all this effort? What's so special about this person?
Mr. Wallace? Despite a lack of formal training, our surveillance has shown he has incredible... With his help, we may be able to...
I have to admit, the third-generation synths are really something.
Dr. Volkert.
Take good care of yourself, and you won't have to see too much of me.
General?
What's going on here?
You're an unexpected surprise. We could use the backup. These Institute bastards aren't getting away. They'll have to go through us to get out of there. We don't know quite what we're up against, but it's good you're here to help. How did you hear about this?
Can you bring me up to speed on the situation?
Commonwealth citizen lives in that there observatory. Institute thugs showed up to haul him off, only he spotted them coming. He managed to fire off a flare gun, got our attention, and we got up here as quick as we could. Now they're trapped inside. So, how do you want to play this? We thought about trying to lure them out here, since it'd be easier to kill them. But then we realized we probably ought to storm the place, to make sure they can't disappear on us. That makes sense, right? So, you want to lead the charge?
Let's take them now, before they have a chance to get away.
All right. We'll follow your lead.
Hostile, you must be terminated.
Regrettable.
Hey, John.
Hello, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
Someone could make a statue out of you like that. Abstract, ideally.
try to make myself useful. No one wants to see a grown man feeling sorry for himself.
Sturgis.
My old man taught me that duct tape could fix anything. I don't think he was talking about bullet holes. What's up?
God, what are you doing in here? Get out there and stop them from killing us.
Dr. Thompson.
God, what are you doing in here? Get out there and stop them from killing us.
A regrettable occurrence.
You're supposed to be defusing the situation. Get out there and do it.
Enrico.
You're supposed to be defusing the situation. Get out there and do it. Nice work bringing that rogue synth.
For goodness sake, be reasonable. I know you can hear me. Now open the...
What's going on?
What's the use? Dr. Higgs and Dr. Loken have decided to protest your appointment as father's successor. They've taken control of the bioscience security systems and cut off our food supply.
Have they made any demands?
Not yet, but I expect they'll demand that you renounce.
Maybe I can reason with them.
I believe I can help with that. I can unlock the maintenance tunnel that leads to the bioscience observation room. From there, you should be able to communicate with them. If you can't reason with them, you can use this holotape to access the command functions on the... That should give you some options. Just please, try to talk to them first. Use violence only... Here we are. Just give me a moment. There, it's unlocked.
You must be terminated.
I thought I heard something. Made it past the guards, Impressive.
Excuse me, Doctor.
If you've come to change our minds, then you're wasting your time.
Can we talk about this?
Father chose not to talk to the Directorate before anointing you his successor. So how about I follow his fine example?
Father believes in me. The least you can do is give me a chance.
No, the risk is too great. Without experienced and competent leadership, the Institute could be thrown into chaos. Decades of research could be jeopardized.
We seem to be at an impasse.
Then there's nothing more to talk about, is there? Father's heir apparent. She made it past your impenetrable defensive.
What if she got that far?
Compose yourself, man.
Don't have the key.
Risks, but we are still in control.
Doors unlocked. Since Defense Protocol 1. Hostile sensor reading detected.
Take cover.
Offline.
Doc?
I honestly thought Dr. Lee or Dr. Holdren would be appointed to succeed Father.
It's over, Dr. Higgs.
What do you plan to do now? Kill us and take the key? Go on then. Prove how right we were.
You're beaten, Dr. Higgs. Your plan failed. Now open the door.
No. I refuse.
Enough. Have you lost your mind, Lawrence? I'll do it. I'll open the door.
Max, no.
It's over, Lawrence. And you're a fool if you can't see that. Now, unless you intend to shoot me, please stand aside while I put an end to this.
Future generations will remember this decision, Max. I'll make sure of it.
I suggest we confine ourselves to quarters until our fate's decided. We can at least face the consequences with our dignity intact.
What choice do we have?
Bravo! I admit I was fearing for the worst, but I can see that I underestimated you.
What do you mean you feared the worst?
I just didn't want to see anyone get hurt. There is one further matter to discuss. Obviously, some kind of disciplinary action must be.
Put them on probation. Limit their access to quarters and non-working areas.
That's more than fair. I'll see. I'll take that holotape back. I also wanted to offer you something as a more personal expression of gratitude. I know that your work often takes you to the surface where supplies are scarce. I gathered these items together for you. I think you'll find them useful.